In this problem, we need to find the area of a rectangle ABCD which is inscribed in a circle. And we are also provided with the coordinates of point A and point B. And there's another piece of information that's provided to us. That's the diameter of the circle lies along the line 3y equals to x plus 10. Then using all this information, we also need to determine the equation of the circle. So let's first try to understand the problem graphically. So here we have a circle, and let's consider the center to be represented by O. And we have a rectangle, let's name it A, B, C, D. The rectangle ABCD is inscribed within the circle. We are provided with the coordinates of the vertices A and B. So A has a coordinate -6, 7 and B has the coordinate +4, 7. Now, there's another information which is the diameter of the circle lies along the line 3y equals to x plus 10. So we know that the diameter of a circle is always going to pass through the center. So let's say if this is the diameter, so we have a line. So this line is having an equation given by 3y equals to x plus 10. So our diameter is going to lie on this particular line. So let's try to find out the coordinate of the center of the circle as well as radius first. We'll come to the length and width of the rectangle in a later part. So first we'll begin by constructing a line. We drop a perpendicular from the center of the circle on the chord AB and let's call it OE. So OE is going to be perpendicular to AB. Now we know that whenever we drop a perpendicular from the center of a circle to any chord on the circle, it bisects the chord. Meaning we can say that E is the midpoint of AB. Now because E is the midpoint of AB, we can also find out the coordinate of point E. So that's going to be equals to find out the x coordinate, what we'll have to do, we'll take the x coordinate of A and x coordinate of B, which is -6, and we're going to add them with 4 and divide it by 2. To find out the y coordinate, so we are going to add the y coordinate, so that's 7 plus 7, and we're going to divide it by 2. So this is going to be equals to, so -6 plus 4 is -2, so we have -1, 7 plus 7, that's 14, 14 over 2 is 7. So now we have the coordinate of the midpoint E, so that comes out to be -1, 7. Now that we have the coordinate of point E, what we'll do, we'll try to find out the slope of the line AB. So that's very simple. The slope is simply y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So let's suppose A represents x1, y1 and B represents x2, y2. So y2 minus y1 means we have 7 minus 7 divided by, and x2 will be 4 minus -6. So since we have 7 minus 7 in the numerator, so this slope comes out to be 0. And whenever we have slope of AB equals to 0, this implies that AB is parallel to the x-axis. Now think about it. If AB is parallel to x-axis, this would also mean that OE is going to be parallel to y-axis. Since OE is parallel to the y-axis, now we can say that the equation of line OE, so that is going to be given by x equals to -1. So x equals to -9 is a line parallel to the y-axis. Because coordinate point of E is -1, 7, it means that it is passing through x equals to -1. Fine. So we have now found out the equation of line OE. So now that we have the equation of line OE, so we can use this equation and the equation of the diameter line to find out the intersection point O. So we will solve this. So let's use it. So solving 3y equals to x plus 10. So this is going to be the equation of the diameter line, and x equals to -1, we get the value of y. So we have 3y equals to -1 plus 10. So this is going to give us y equals to 3. So that means now we have found out the common intersection point of O. So O, the x coordinate remains to be -1 and the y value is 3. So we now have the center of the circle. So center of the circle, which is denoted by the coordinate point O, is going to be -1, 3. So we have now found out the center of the circle. Now that we have the center of the circle, let's try to figure out the radius of the circle. So that's pretty simple. All we have to do is join OA. So OA is going to be the radius of our circle. Now that we have the coordinate of the origin as well as the value of A, the coordinate of pointer, which is already provided to us, so we can use the distance formula to find out the value of a radius of a circle. So let's do that. Now we'll be using the distance formula to obtain the value of the radius r. So for this, first we'll take the square root, and underneath the square root we will first take the square of the difference of the x coordinate. So here we have -6 minus of -1, so we have -6 plus 1 whole square. Then add it to the square of the difference of the y coordinate, which is simply 7 minus 3 whole square. So this is going to be equals to, so we have square root of, so -6 plus 1 is -5. -5 squared gives us positive 25. Plus 7 minus 3 is 4. 4 squared is going to be 16, and the sum is now 41. So that means the radius of the circle comes out to be square root of 41. Now we have the coordinate of the center of the circle as well as the radius of the circle. What we can do is we can use the standard form of a circle to obtain its equation. So if we have a circle whose center has the coordinate h comma k and a radius of r, then the standard form of a circle is given by the formula x minus h whole squared plus y minus k whole squared equals to r squared. So in that case, we have obtained the center, which is h comma k, so that has the value -1 comma 3. So this immediately gives us the value of h, which is -1, and the value of k, which is positive 3. And we have obtained the radius of the circle as equals to square root of 41. So that means we can use the standard form. We have x minus h, so h is -1, so we have x plus 1 whole square, plus y minus k, so that's y minus 3 whole square, equals to square of the radius, so that's 41. So this is going to be the equation of a circle. So one task is done. Now the next task would be to find out the area of the rectangle. Now in order to find out the area of the rectangle ABCD, we need the measure of the length. So that's let's call it AB, and we also need the measure of the width, so we'll be considering AD. So if we take the product, that is going to give us the length of the rectangle. So let's start by let's begin by first finding out the value of AB. So we're going to use again the distance formula. So first, within the square root, we're going to first take the difference of the x coordinate. So we have -6 and 4, so we get -6 minus 4 whole square. Then add it to the square of the difference of the y coordinate, so that's 7 minus 7 whole square. And this gives us a value 10. So that means the length AB of the rectangle is going to be 10 units. Next, we need to find out the value of AD. Now, we don't have to worry about AD because we know that we have the value of OE. So actually, it's going to be 2 times the length of OE, which is going to be equals to the length AD. So the length OE will be equals to, so we'll again use the distance formula. Underneath the square root, first we take the difference of the x coordinate, so we have -1 plus 1 and square it and add it to the difference of the y coordinate, so that's 7 minus 3 and then square it. So this is going to give us, we have 4. So OE length is going to be equals to 4, which means the length of AD, where we use length of AD is going to be 2 times the length of OE, so that means we have 8 units. And finally, we can say that the area of rectangle ABCD, that's going to be equals to 10 times 8, which is going to be 80 square units. So we have successfully found out the area of the rectangle as well.